Hey, welcome back. Today we're gonna put the rotor pump in the 1963 Sea King because, as you saw in the last video, it wasn't pumping water. So I ordered a new one, and here's the old one. The inside diameter is way too big for the cam, and that could be from wear, or somebody might have put the wrong one in it. But what's more making me wonder is the outside diameter on the new one is quite a bit smaller than the one I got. And it's hard to see. They're not the same on the outside diameter, and I would think the outside diameter shouldn't have changed. But the inside diameter was whopped out really big, so when the cam was going around, the eccentric cam was not making the rotor move to pump the water. I started filming this earlier and ran out of storage, so I had to go through my phone and get rid of a bunch of stuff. But I'll get the parts and show you what you got to take off. Well, let's get everything back. Now, be careful because there's a little tiny key right here, and that goes on a flat spot on the prop shaft right there, and it stands up and down. It doesn't have a hole in it like our other motors that we work on. It stands up, and when I go to put it back together, I'm going to put a little bit of grease on it just to make it stick, so I don't have to worry about it falling over as I'm trying to put it all back together. So that pin that I just showed you goes right there, and then you got to line up that keyway with that. Just going to put it back together briefly to show you what we got to take off. It's real easy to change this one. Don't have to pull the power head. There's no linkage because it doesn't shift. You got your shear pin. You got to take out your cotter pin so that you can get the prop nut off. So you're just going to be popping this off after you get your cotter pin and your prop nut off, and then take your shear pin out. This one's in good shape. Nothing's ever been hit with. It's never been banged up. And the prop on that 63 is like mint. Doesn't look like anybody ever hit anything with that. That little chip of paint is just paint. It's not rough at all. It's in really good shape. There's another style of prop that goes on some other motors, but it actually has a couple holes, or one or two holes in here, and that's how the water gets in to the pump. So you just pop this off. I'm going to clean this all up real good. Lift up the cam. Clean that all out. Get it clean. I already cleaned this one up pretty good. But I can see why this wasn't pumping any water. I don't know if it's the right one at all, the one that I took out, because it's a lot, considerably bigger on the outside, so I'm not sure. See, if that doesn't have any room to move, it has to be able to, we call them, sometimes these are known as wobble pumps, but this is so tight around where it goes, where it fits in, that there's no chance for it to wobble. It's supposed to kind of wobble back and forth, and when it wobbles to one side, it gets room for water to get in there, and then it squishes it back up and forces it up into the motor. It's a wobble pump, squish pump, whatever you like to call it. But we need a little bit of marine grease on that pin. This is just to make it stick to the where it needs to go. Just put a dab of it on there to make it stick. Let me put the cam back down over it. So you can't slide it in from over top because it won't fit. You have to set it on there and put this down over it. Whoops, I'm sorry. That's the trickiest part of this whole thing, is getting that lined up so this fits down over it. Trying to keep the camera where it belongs. Giving me problems. Maybe there we go. There. That was bad. I'm embarrassed. Okay, now you just put your new wobbler on here. Sorry about that. Okay, now you see how it's skinny, or gaffed on one side? When that when that eccentric cam comes around, it's going to force that tight. So that's the water gets in, and then when it makes its rotation, it squishes the water up into the tube and then into to cool the motor. I apologize for the horrible camera work. Set that back down. 2 fasteners. Okay. Put your shear pin back in. Trying to hang on to the camera with one hand and work on the motor with the other. Okay, and then there's a bushing that goes right there. I have the manual for this. If anybody needs it, just email me and I'll scan it over to you. That Mercury one that I had, another guy wanted, it didn't have anything on that. Whoops, that don't go on yet. It didn't end up having anything in there for the 68 9.8. I bought it on eBay and it was a poorly copied copy. It was a homemade cheap version. I'm going to set the camera down for a second because I got to hold the prop. I don't want it turning while I'm tightening on that. Got to turn it till your key or your cotter pin will fit one of the holes. There we go. And bend your arms out. I'll get it off there and into the tank real quick. It might be kind of hard starting right now. I had to turn the gas off, and when I tipped it off, of course, gas was pouring out of the top of the carburetor bowl where the needle sticks out. Good. All right, let's see what happens. Turn the gas back on. I don't know what it is about this blue barrel, but no matter what motor I put in it, it rattles like crazy. It's almost like this is like 2-ply or something. And the two shells are banging into each other. It's really noisy. I'm glad when I can get them back outside in a big tank. Alright, so on this motor, I don't know if you can see it, I keep making sure here. Yeah. This knob here, you turn it all the way to the left and hold it down. And fuel will start dripping out a little bit. There you go. Not like there's a zillion of these out there dripping gas all the time. Yeah, pump the water. Hope you can see it. It doesn't have a big spray, but it's coming out. It's working. Oh, beautiful. Take a shower behind that baby. Nice and warm. Let me get my laser stick. Problem is, I got the side covers on. I can't check the temperature. What a beauty. Whoop, I went too lean. Aren't they? Perfect. Beautiful. I can't check the temperature with the side cover on. I want to pop it off. I spent more on that pump rotor squisher pump than I did on the whole motor. Let me set this down. My hands are all greasy. So greasy. I can never get this thing to sit right, no matter what I do. There. I'm going to pop the side cover off to make sure. If the video ends abruptly when I post it, it's because I ran out of storage space. A little tricky to get off sometimes. You have to bring the carb adjustment screw out a little bit. Or take that baby right off. There you got it. You gotta see if you're still with me here. Yeah. Okay, let's start it back up and then we can check it. I say we got success pumping like fire truck. Yeah, like a fire truck. Wrong color, but it is. Pumping like fire truck. This is how I like them to run. All the ranges have to work, or I keep at them until they're right. My grandsons are only 5. I don't want them out there having this motor giving them trouble. Do some trolling out on the Saginaw Bay with this one. That's right close to the exhaust. It's a lot hotter right there. Right there is where the exhaust starts coming out and dropping down into the exhaust tube. Let's see how low can we go. That's it. All right, what do you think of that? Awesome. $44 and I don't know, $44 and change. I got that from Vans Sports Center, 1855 Alpine Avenue Northwest. I don't know what it is about Grand Rapids. They always have that northwest, southwest stuff. Not very many other cities in Michigan go with that. It's usually north or south. Anyway, I ordered it, Thursday or Friday, and I got it today's Monday. Got me a new heater for the shop. So far, it hasn't blown up or exploded. I think we're all good. Seriously. I've been trying to clean up in here, but it's Michigan winter time, and I gotta have these motors in a building that's warm. Can't have them in the other building. I sold a 1968 Ebner. The guy wanted this one. That's the one I had listed. But when I was getting it ready for him, I found the oil line that comes from the top of the crank down to the bottom. And it sends oil to lubricate the bottom bearings. It was leaking there. And in order to get that fixed, to get the clamp back on it, you got to take the power head off to get it. I got a zip tie on it, and it was still leaking. It was really hard to get at. So he opted for the 1968. That's a 67. But then he said his brother wants this one. So he's coming back in a couple of weeks, and I hope to have it fixed for him. This is a 22 horse Sport Scott powerhead. Guy shipped it to me from Madison, Wisconsin. And it's going to be going on a 22 Sport Scott that I got sitting outside. It was seized up really bad. I've gotten seized engines freed up before, but this one was rust welded, so it's junk. So I got that, and I was going through it and doing some tests. I got spark, good compression, and hopefully I'll be doing a video on that pretty soon. All right. The Johnson chair that my wife picked off the side of the road. Guy had it sitting out by the curb alongside of his garbage can about a mile down the road. Throwing it away. I couldn't believe it. I was so excited when she sent me that picture. It's just like we were on our honeymoon again or something. All right, thanks for watching. Yeah, let's fire it up one more time. That's a cute little motor. Grandkids are going to love it. All right. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.